Hi, I'm Katrina Hobbs, and this is a quintessential South Pacific beach, otherwise known as Champagne Beach in Vanuatu. See, it's even got the better name. To make the most of this beautiful view, just remember to put on your 3D glasses whenever you see the symbol showing.
Vanuatu, the small island state, has only had this name since 1980. Vanuatu means our land. Before independence, the archipelago was under French and British colonial rule, and it's only in the last 20 years that Vanuatu has been given back to the original inhabitants, the Ni Vanuatu. There are around 190,000 people living in Vanuatu. Even though the Americans brought the modern world to the islands during the Second World War, many of the inhabitants still live in the jungle. Christianity is the most widespread religion, but the old beliefs and ancestor worship still continue. There are over 100 languages spoken here. The underwater world around the islands of Vanuatu is unspoilt and quite unique. On the two main islands, Espiritu Santo and Efate, you notice the most Western influence. It was here that the Americans built their bases during the war. Vanuatu is made up of 83 islands, and seen from the air they look like a Y, which is the symbol on the national flag. The largest island is Espiritu Santo, the capital, Port Vila.
What a beautiful place! And this is the very spot where young Lieutenant James Michener first set foot on Espiritu Santo, and so was inspired to write the classic novel Tales of the South Pacific.
Vanuatu is not yet as well known as its neighbours Fiji and New Caledonia. And because of this, you really can still find untouched places and undiscovered natural wonders. Secluded palm-lined beaches make the South Seas feeling complete. There are several lagoons like this one on Santo. They call them blue holes. The colour of the water is due to a chemical reaction. The spring water mixes with the surrounding limestone and produces this strong turquoise colour. Santo has a fascinating history. Glenn Russell is a tour guide and knows this place better than anyone. We're on the way to a former US airbase, hidden somewhere in the jungle.
During the war, Americans built the road.
And how did you get on before that?
You have to use the canoe.
Oh, really?
No roads.
Yeah. So this is very traditional canoe?
Yes.
Santo is the largest island in Vanuatu. Before World War II, most of its inhabitants lived in isolated tribal groups with little contact to the outside world. It's based on the island.
Not far from here is an airstrip right on the top.
Although the former airbase at Matavulu is now overgrown, it was once a major fighter plane base, and wreckage can still be found spread around the area.
Oh yes, I remember playing in this aircraft when I was a kid.
Really? Tell me about this wreck.
Well, they were heading for the runway and they ran out of fuel, so the pilot decided to land on the water and slowly up on the beach.
How long do you think it's been here?
Since 1943.
That looks like it's been there for a really long time.
Yeah, when the war finished, there were lots of things left behind.
But the largest war relic is somewhere quite different. In 1942, the Navy ship SS President Coolidge sank just 60 metres from the coast of Santo when it struck a couple of mines. Alan Power has been diving the wreck since 1969, when he's worked as a salvager on the sunken vessel. Now he runs his own dive centre on the island.
Ooh, look at these. That's some serious weapon. Is that how you hold that one?
Yeah, that's a knuckle knife. They first had them in the First World War, and that came off the promenade deck.
Of the Coolidge?
Yes.
Is this the sextant?
That's a sextant.
Alan has gathered an impressive collection of artefacts from the shipwreck, and they are all still in good condition.
What else did you get from the Coolidge when you salvaged dives?
Well, we have
Oh, look at that.
a silver teapot.
How beautiful. Oh, look, you can see the symbol. It says the dollar steamship line, there you go.
Yeah.
Got the flag. So can you show me where we'll be diving on this model?
Well, from the bow, we're going to come up here, we're coming into the promenade deck, and that's the main area that we're going to be operating.
Sounds fantastic. Should we go get ready?
Let's go.
Okay.
Alan's diving company has taken about 20,000 divers down to the wreck of the Coolidge over the last 15 years. The Coolidge is the world's largest accessible shipwreck. Apart from the external damage caused by the mine explosions, the 200-metre-long ship went down intact. Some of the objects are lying on the ship exactly where they were left over 50 years ago, when the 5,000 troops on board dropped everything to run for their lives. There's a wealth of artefacts still lying about. The lady still hangs on the wall of the first-class smoking room. The Coolidge is not the only great wreck dive in Santos Harbour. The destroyer USS Tucker was sunk almost 3 months earlier by the same treacherous minefield. This ship survived the attack on Pearl Harbor, where it fired some of the first American shots in the Second World War. Today, it has become a happy home for thousands of schooling fish. Near to where the Coolidge lies is the hardware graveyard, known as $1 Million Point. As the war came to an end, the Americans simply threw millions of dollars worth of military equipment into the sea. The ghost of the American War still haunts the island state. On the island of Tanna, the John Brum cult lives on. John Brum was a mysterious figure from the Second World War. The legend says his return to the island of Tanna will bring wealth and prosperity. Chief Isaac is the commander-in-chief of the village. It's hoped that somehow this ritual will entice the legendary saviour to return. The Red Cross of the US Medical Corps has become an important symbol for the followers. The cult members believe that John Brum and his troop of 20,000 men are waiting in the nearby volcano Yasur. Alfred, an expert on the area, takes me right up to the volcano. For the Tannese, it's just a part of everyday life. To be perfectly honest, I do feel a bit nervous. When a volcano is spitting out ash and fire, you instinctively just want to run away, and we're on our way to the crater.
Is it alright to go?
Well, it's still okay, but you have to take extra care.
Okay. I'll go behind you.
Yasur is one of the most active volcanoes on Vanuatu.
Oh my god.
It's constantly spitting out hot ash and lava. This is definitely not for the faint-hearted.
Well, this is the only place in the world you can get this close to the crater of an active volcano. So this crater is explosive because of the gas or because of the lava?
This crater always gives up the heavy smoke and also a lot of ash. But the other one always gives up just the lava.
Yasur rumbles around the clock. Sulphur gases, lava, rocks and hot air get catapulted high up into the sky. The last big eruption here was only recently.
Oh my gosh.
That's the active one.
Yeah, that's very active. What's not active?
This one's not active. This is too active.
Right. Is that why you're like... Oh my gosh! Woo! Do you ever get scared?
Well, I do.
You do? I'm glad to hear that, 'cause I'm terrified.
On the west side of the island lies Yekal village. There's a belief on Tanna that the world was created out of the lava masses from the volcano Yasur. people live their lives without any of the modern comforts. They want to protect their culture and continue with it as long as possible. Custom dances are a cherished activity that the whole village takes part in. Everyone gathers under the sacred banyan trees at the centre of the village. It's the spiritual heart of the community where ceremonies and kava drinking take place. The men wear traditional numbers, the women wear grass skirts. Leaving Tanna, we head north to the island of Pentecost to witness one of the world's most exciting ceremonies. The island has next to nothing in the way of sealed roads or modern buildings, but the journey is well worth it.
Hi, you must be Chief Willie.
Yes, I'm Chief Willie.
Are you taking me to the land outside?
Right, go.
Up here?
Yes,
Okay.
Chief Willie is the head of the Bahomo village. He takes me to the place in the forest which has been chosen for this year's Nangol, or the Leap of Death, and as we would call it, a kind of ancient bungee jumping. The tower is made from tree trunks and vine. A few weeks before the Nangol festival takes place, the men of the tribe gather the material for the tower's construction. Each individual vine is knotted separately and checked for strength. The brave jumpers are all volunteers, and the strength and length of the vines are matched to the size and weight of each individual jumper. A miscalculation could be fatal.
What an incredible construction. And it looks terrifying. Have you ever had people stop and not want to do it?
Sometimes when you look, they see it and they cannot jump, so they move out and another person takes
Before the jump, the villagers drum up some atmosphere. The local dances and songs are meant to give the jumpers, who can be as young as 8 years old, the courage they'll need. The time has come. The first jumper has his feet bound. The crowd cheer and dance. I can imagine that this 8-year-old is frightened, but he doesn't show it. His first jump signifies his entry into manhood. Everyone's happy. It was a successful attempt. The jumpers fall about 15 metres. Just before they hit the ground, they're brought up short by the vines. These vines are good shock absorbers, but still nowhere near as reliable as today's bungee elastic. Accidents can happen during this daring and dangerous ritual, but it is something that the people of Pentecost simply accept.
Well, the land diving was a bit much for me, but there are plenty of other ways to have a great time on this island. Okay! Woo!
Efate is home to Vanuatu's capital, Port Vila, and is the country's most popular tourist destination. It offers the most comfort for holidaymakers and all kinds of sporting activities too. In the north of Efate, there are beautiful unspoiled areas to go diving. Paul's Reef, for example, has formed around the face of an extinct volcano. It's a wonderfully rich and rare underwater world. One Small Bag are a popular theatre group who travel the islands to spread the word about important environmental and social issues. Today, they're presenting a story about turtle preservation. After the performance, the villagers of Tisariki are encouraged to help release turtles back into the sea.
Time for me to say goodbye too, but I hope you've enjoyed our journey around the wonderful islands of Vanuatu, and we'll see you soon on the next 3D Planet. Bye bye!